everyone, my name is Nicola. I am simply a stitcher. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, it's great to have you, and if you are returning, thank you for coming and spending some more time with me today. So today I'm going to do a stitch with me, and today's piece, let me just bring up the mock-up. Oh, tummy's off. It's a Geckorouge piece, and this is Unicorn. It's artwork by Lorna Laine, and it's a kit and being stitched 1/1 full cross on some 25 count fabric. So this will be one of my stitch with me's with chat. If you're new around here, I do 2 stitch with me's a week, one with chat and the other with either music or just ASMR sounds. But my Saturday stitch with me is chat. And the way I work my chat videos is I go through your comments and I reply, because I think if you've taken the time to comment, I should take the time to acknowledge that. And rather than sitting and typing a reply, I think it'd be nice for us to talk about them. So yeah, so this is being stitched, if I've not already said, 1/1 on some 25 count fabric, and I'm putting in the first stitches today as I start this stitch with me. So I hope everybody's doing well. It is Whip Parade season, so I know that I will have had some new subscribers. So for those of you that are joining me for the first time, it's great to have you. I put out my mid-year Whip Parade, and it's been very, very warmly and well received, which is fantastic. And I do a Flosstube every week, and I do these 2 stitch with me's, and I also do 2 live streams a week as well. So the live streams are quite popular, and you know, we get up to all sorts on those streams. And you know, if I have a piece that's a focus for a finish, when it gets to the stage of being finished, we usually hop on the live stream and do it live with you guys. You've all supported me through my stitching journey, so I figure it's just nice to you know, to respond to that and to support you know, you guys back, and to thank you by sharing my finishes with you. So in the description box underneath you will find links, and you'll find other information. So you'll find all the projects I'm stitching. You will also find the links to my social media and 1 or 2 other odds and ends besides. I do have an entirely voluntary buy me a coffee link, and also the link to my Simply a Stitcher and Friends Facebook group, where we have lots of events. We do stitch-alongs on a monthly basis, we do chat, and also for the live stream I post a thread and invite you to share your work in progresses for showing on the live stream, so everybody can share in your achievement. We celebrate every milestone of stitching. These projects, as I've always said, are a long-term commitment, so we should celebrate every single moment. So there we go. So if you don't know me as well, just a little bit about me. I do a lot of stitching. I work from home, so I'm able to do a lot of stitching. I work full time. I have a husband of nearly 7 years. I also have 3 children, 2 of which still live at home, and they will very often pipe in on my videos. I also have, they're all girls. I also have a cat who may also pipe in on my videos. So yeah. Thank you, my love. So there we go.
Did I just hear you saying about some new people?
Yes, but we'll not do that today.
Oh, no.
So yeah. It's a little early in the morning for bell ringing. So there we go. Right, so I have got a number of comments, and I'm going to go right the way through my Whip Parade comments so far, up until the first comment of the Flosstube that was released on Tuesday. So the first comment I have on, we're going back to Flosstube 25, which was titled an FFO, and Jane, who is Jane22, says, hello glamorous assistant, because I had the lovely Lauren in with me. Yes, she says she sleeps is spectacular. Wonderful stitching and video. Please keep the stitching going and the stitch with me's. I find it helpful. No plans to stop. I enjoy doing these videos. They form now, for me, a part of my weekly routine. So for me, doing these videos is normal now. But, you know, I set up to film on a Monday and a Wednesday. These Stitch With Me videos. I have my routine. I'm a creature of habit, which can be a good thing. But yeah. So don't worry, Jane, the Stitch With Me's are going nowhere. I know Darren, Dizzy Stitcher, mentioned that he may no longer do Stitch With Me's because he noticed that it's a lot of time to do a Stitch With Me and not many people watch. Compared to, you know, Flosstubes and Whip Parades and things. But, you know, not everybody wants to watch a Stitch With Me. So it's a bit of swings and roundabouts. You know, I think people like to know that they're there and have the option to watch them. But for me on my channel, I like to have a good variety so that whomever is watching, hopefully there's something that ticks a box for you. Is that rain I can hear down the chimney?
No, it's outside.
It's raining here today, 2nd of July, and it's raining. Last week we were having, well, earlier this week we were having 30 odd degrees, and now it's chucking it down. British weather's weird. Ashley Stitching Corner says, holy smokes woman, your needle is always on fire. That symphony is going to be done quite soon. I'm so excited. Hopefully it's done by the time you're watching this video. I'm so excited for you and all your projects, and absolutely thrilled for you for She Sleeps. She's absolutely stunning. Yeah, I was blown away by the framing. Lisa did a tremendous job. And yeah, I haven't got her up yet because I need a handyman with a screw and a drill, screws and a roll plug, because it's a heavy piece and I want to make sure the wall fixing is suitable. So So thank you for that, Ashley. Okay, Loopy Sue says beautiful work and a very productive week. Yep, unfortunately work does get in the way of my stitching, and you can tell that, can't you? The weeks that I work, I do tend to do less than the weeks when I'm on annual leave. But it is what it is. There's not a lot we can do. We have to work. Cheryl says, oh my word, you were busy on your holiday. Every stitch is beautiful. And She Sleeps is out of this world. Lovely to see, Lauren. Congratulations on finishing school. Enjoy your prom. Thank you, Cheryl. I do also, by the way, pass on all of your lovely comments to Lauren, so she's fully aware. You guys often say lovely things about her. I hear the kitty cat. Come down for a snack. Jodie says, well, your needle was definitely on fire this week. I'll never get tired of seeing She Sleeps, excuse me, in all her glory. And you should definitely enter her into the competition. I hope to visit the live stream Sunday if all goes well. I really missed the Sunday visit, but life keeps getting in the way. Yeah, that's understood, Jodie. Yeah, life can get in the way. And I absolutely get it, don't worry. Gail has also commented on Flosstube 25 saying the B-look is looking fabulous. As always, your projects are beautiful. Thank you, Gail. And Copy and Cross Stitch Nicola also says your framed She Sleeps is stunning. Thank you, Nicola. Like I said, I was just so pleased to see her. Worth the road trip, weren't you, love?
Mm-hmm.
So a little sneeze.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, says Sherry, you really accomplished a lot. That's amazing. All is beautiful. She Sleeps is stunning and such a beautiful work of art. Congrats to Lauren on finishing school and hope you have a very memorable prom. Hope to join on Wednesday if work is quiet, remote day. Thank you, Sherry. And if you've seen this week's Flosstube, you will of course have seen all about Lauren's prom on there. Uh-oh, I hear Hannah. We all know what that means. She's just been down for a snack, Hannah.
She sat there staring at me. She thought that was not feeding.
Morning.
We need it.
Oh.
It's not when I fell on yesterday.
I didn't know you'd fallen.
Yeah, I've been mentioning it.
I didn't hear you.
Oh, well, yeah. That's why I call them my wet socks and shoes.
Oh, I just thought you'd been paddling in the lake.
Not by choice.
Oh, did the dog drag you in?
Something like that, yeah.
Not what I heard. You said the dog jumped in of its own accord and you had to rescue it.
Well, at that end, yeah, but but this happened before that. Because dog went in water, rather than me walking round out path, I tried to go round the little grass bit, like where water is, and it was all muddy.
And you slid.
In her.
Okay.
And I went flying. I'm probably got a right bruise coming through.
Joyce gives me some tingly bells. Thank you, Joyce. And Donna Shine says she sleeps, looks absolutely beautiful in her frame.
Has my small black coat been washed recently?
No, but you haven't needed it because it's been so warm. It's on the chair where it was.
Do you not wash it when I come home? When I brought it up of a week when I left it
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it'll be like.
Oh, it has been washed.
Right, okay, I'm trying to make a video here. Dear, oh dear. Right. Daphne Chamberlain says she sleeps, looks beautiful. Your needles were on fire. Thank you, Daphne. And then Renee says FFO is fabulous. Love it. Hi, Lauren. Enjoy your summer. Lauren is spending her summer currently with chair buttitis or sofa buttitis. That's where she spent most of her time at the moment. I think she's just sort of, she needs a bit of direction, but she'll find a way. Maria Voletto says your FFO is stunning. Great progress on your whips. I'm more of a sloth stitcher. Well, as I said before, Maria, everybody stitches at their own pace, and you do you. If that makes you happy, it makes you happy. Yeah, we all want more, but you know, you do what makes you happy, don't you? Mona says she sleeps is stunning. Congratulations. Lauren is beautiful like her mom. Oh, thank you, Mona.
Get you, you crackhead.
Yeah, cat's in crackhead mode. What we call crackhead? She's got the zoomies.
Too many zoomies.
Indeed.
I told to go to bed last night. No one was tired, which was stubborn man like an absolute.
All right. Great finish, says Heather Pearson. I'm working on Symphony, page B. I love the colours. Great stuff, Heather. Mine should be, as you're watching this, should be finished. I've thoroughly enjoyed working on Symphony. It's a nice piece. And Loopy Sue leaves me some smiley and heart emojis on the Wednesday live stream. Thank you, Sue. Darlene Sears says the project bag is gorgeous as well as all of your projects. The FFO is fabulous. Thank you very much. Yeah, I've been very lucky with Stitchy Kindness. And that bag is just waiting for my seahorse to be pulled from the wheel. And I shan't be doing a spin until well, Symphony will be finished now, and I need another finish before I can do a spin for a new start. Okay, so Kathy Brown leaves me a comment on my live stream. We were talking about my diet and my weight loss journey. And she says, I have to ask, I heard you talk about your diet and what you drink with no calories. I can't figure out what drinking squash is. Here in the US, squash is zucchini, pumpkin, butternut. Don't tell me you're drinking that in juice form. I'm sure it's just a name you call something there, but what? I can't figure it out.
It's juice, isn't it?
Yeah, but in America it's different, isn't it?
I think they call it like juice or maybe pop.
Yeah. So squash, it's a dilute, it's a concentrate fruit drink that's not carbonated. So you get it in like a big bottle. You just use a splash of it and fill up your cup with water to make the drink. Like I said, it's not carbonated, so no fizz, and it's usually calorie free, so it's very good for, you know, for the diet, really. It means I'm not drinking calories where I don't need to, and they're unlimited on my diet. So it's a fruit-based drink. So the ones I've got at the minute, I've got summer fruit, I've got a cherry one. You get them orange, lemon, blackcurrant, you know, whatever flavour, and you just use a very small amount and then add water to make a drink. Cordial, you might know it as cordial. I do drink a lot of it, at least for 2 a day. Keeps me hydrated.
I started using a lot of it at work.
Yeah.
It's been warm recently.
Well, you should.
Because appetite's been too warm to even think about putting that kettle on.
Yeah, you should, because you don't drink very much. And, you know, but, you know, sometimes even when it's warm, having a cup of tea helps. The reason why is if you drink a cold drink, it warms up in your stomach. If you drink a hot drink, it cools down in your stomach. And if it warms up in your stomach, it can make you feel warm. But if it cools down in your stomach, it can cool you down. Well, that's what, you know, I was always taught as a little one anyway. You know, whether it's true or not, whether there's any science to back it up, I don't know.
I know that sometimes we just feel so warm.
Mm-hmm.
Just can't even face it.
It's always worked for me. I very often have a hot drink in the summer. Andy thinks I'm crazy, don't you?
Yes.
You are crazy, we know that.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't she, Andy?
Yeah.
Tracy says, hey, I have a question about Pattern Keeper. Do you export your progress back to your storage cloud, Google Drive, etc.? Concerned about bless you, Hannah. Concerned about losing my progress on my patterns if I lose or my tablet gets stolen. I haven't yet, which is probably really naughty. But you should. I actually need a new tablet myself. Bless you. There's nothing particularly wrong with this one that I have, with the exception that sometimes it's a battle with it. It's not particularly powerful. So if I'm running Pattern Keeper and I also want to run the browser to, you know, look at show and tell or anything like that, more than one background program, it slows things down on it massively. So I am actually trying to ring fence some money for a new tablet. But yeah, I should. And I think it's a good habit to get into. I think, you know, people like to back up sort of, you know, once a week or, you know, something like that. I have copies of my patterns everywhere. I email them to myself on I have like 4 different email addresses, so I email them to myself and I've got them in Google Drive. Don't get me wrong, it would be an absolute pain in the bum if I had to re-input all of my progress, but it wouldn't be impossible. But I should back them up, really. I'm just lazy. Poor old Hannah's got hay fever, so she'll be doing a lot of sneezing. We get some kind of weird noise from her, don't we? Fab progress, says Sharon Marie. I love the Geckorouge whips. Your FFO is beautiful. Congratulations to reaching 500 members in your Facebook group. Thank you, Sharon. And Sharon, I think we're now up to, well, nearly 530 members. It's growing and growing in there, which is lovely. But the ethos of the group is it's a supportive place, and I think people are drawn to that. I've only had to use the big bad ban button once, and that was because somebody posted a picture, they didn't post any detail. They were given some time to add some detail to it. They chose not to, so I deleted the post and banned the user. It wasn't even a mock-up, it was some digital art. You know, and if you want to advertise in my group, I don't mind that, as long as you show what you're advertising. Don't just put in a picture and not have any information. That's just not fair.
Bye.
Au revoir. So yeah, I've only had to use a big bad ban once. I have a comment in German, so I just need to nip to Google Translate. Let's have it open this morning because I got a comment in Spanish today. This is on Evelina, and the comment translates as a really beautiful motif. Have a lot of fun with it. And that is from Anita Buttenhauser. Thank you, Anita. Evelina is lovely. I mean, I don't know if you've seen, we've now got her hand, so it's coming along. And on live stream Wednesday, Cheryl, our lovely Cheryl, who is working on her Disney cross stitch, was conspicuous by her absence, and she was at Galashield's fancy dress and horse too in the town. I hope you had a lovely day, and always good to know that you're catching up with the streams. So if ever you can't make my live stream, they are published afterwards, so you can catch up. So back to the Flosstube comments, and Sandy comments saying, wow Nicola, a fantastic amount of stitches. Your beat is looking amazing, as are all your whips. Glad that you definitely got your ticket. This is for the October retreat, so you should. She Sleeps is utterly amazing. You chose well. Glad to hear that your channel and Facebook group are growing, so deserved. Thanks for sharing, take care and happy stitching. Thank you very much, Sandy. And you know, it's thanks really to you guys that things are growing, because without you guys watching and interacting, it wouldn't. Comments and things help with the algorithm, and a thumbs up helps as well. And you know, without those there wouldn't be a channel. So you guys are wonderfully supportive of my hobby, which, you know, it makes all the difference. I'm listening to her chatting to cat. And you know, the group, yes, it's growing, but it's still, you know, a really, really, really nice group, very friendly and supportive, which is what I wanted. There's too much negativity in the world as a whole, never mind just the cross stitch world. I have had to have a few rants on videos about this. I feel quite strongly that, you know, the community should be supportive rather than, you know, pulling people down or criticising. You know, like I said in my Flosstube this week, there's been some instances where people have had to field some quite unfair comments. If you're watching anybody on Flosstube, be watching them for the stitching, and you know, people shouldn't have to be justifying their hobby. But anyway, I'm not going to rant again about that, because I did plenty enough of it the other day. Sandy also comments on Bizarre Bookshelf's Stitch With Me, saying, I nearly missed this one. Great stitch with me as always. Glad you're on target for your 500k. Knowing you with some in the bank. Yeah, there is a little bit in the bank, Sandy, you're right. Not much, but you know, means that if I do miss a day or two, it's fine. It says, thanks for sharing, take care, happy stitching. Okay, let's just fill in that stitch there. Oh, we've got some pale stitches here. Bench comments on the Evelina stitch with me, and oh, where is it? There. So this is a little difficult to see with it being a pale stitch. I have been having to use my magnifier to stitch pale colours recently. Nina says, Nina Hobbyside, so many stitches on so beautiful projects. Oops, the bee feels like summer. And I love the stitching shelf. Thank you, Nina. Yeah, I love stitching on them all. Laura on Flosstube 25 says, damn you go girl, that's a great number to get. Thank you, Laura. Loving the bookshelf one, happy stitching. Yeah, bookshelf is looking good. Super happy with how it's coming along. Why does Hannah insist on leaving the tap running?
I don't know.
What she's doing is running water off. Kelly from Kelly's Quilts and Cruises says, hi Nicola, Sailing Fairy is looking great. Popped out a stitch with me with Sailing Fairy last week. I've decided to do a whip parade video after chatting with you on the Wednesday live. I'll try to get it soon and get it done soon and upload in early July. Always good to hear. Whip parades are, you know, I think a really good way of, even for yourself, just looking back and seeing your progress. And you can see, you know, just how far you've come. I always review my previous whip parade before doing the next one. And even I get, you know, astonished by how much, you know, progress that I've made in the 6 months between, or even, you know, from the, on the 12 months. And people have already said, I've only just published this mid-year whip parade, and people have already said they're looking forward to the end of the year one and see how much more progress I've made. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm glad you're doing a whip parade, Kelly. And then Loopy Sue leaves me again some hearts and smiley emojis. Thank you, Sue. Again on the Nadia Strelkina stitch with me. It wouldn't be a stitch with me, says Singer, without Hannah trumping. It's true. Today though, you've had sneezing. Just try and brighten that up a wee bit. There we go, that's a bit better, isn't it? The light here is very variable this morning. It doesn't help matters. I'll park this one and pick it up again in a bit. Try and stay within the zone. Leslie says thanks for a great video, and Linny Stitches leaves me some emojis, heart and wave, a lovely sunflower. Thank you, Linny. And Daphne leaves me a sewing needle too. So thank you very much. You know my thoughts. Any interaction is gratefully appreciated. And then hi Nicola, says Victoria on the Sunday stream. Yes, I did catch the replay. Thank you for Sew and Tell. I don't know anyone else out there that brings the creative community together like you, and where would we be without our bellboy? Yeah, I think Andy quite enjoys being the master bell ringer. Don't you, dear?
Mm-hmm.
And thank you for that. Yeah, like I've always said, my aim is a cohesive and a joined up community. And Mermaids Cove, official Mermaids Cove on Flosstube 21, so a little while ago. At least meet some heart emojis. Thank you, Natalia. Oh, excuse me. And then we start on the whip parade comments. So if you haven't seen my mid-year whip parade, it was released. And do check the pinned comments, because as ever, I got something wrong, or a couple of things wrong in what I was saying, but I popped them corrections in a pinned comment. The first comment is from Patricia Pillin, and she says you're making beautiful progress on your whips. Andy, you did a great job of putting the pictures in. Keep up the good work and look forward to your next update video. Thank you, Patricia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just usually let Andy know what I want, and then he just says, yeah, no problem, and he cracks on. So I'm lucky to have my own in-house editor. do believe I've got part of the unicorn's horn here. Going too far up. Okay, 56. Diane Miller says, what a wonderful whip parade. Thank you for taking the time to make this video for us to enjoy. No worries at all. I enjoy making them. Oh, excuse me. Deborah Simmons says, your cross stitch is so beautiful. I love Cosmic Marvels and I think I'll have to stitch that one. I love all the colours. Thank you for a wonderful video. Very nice.
Thank you.
Thank you, Deborah. And Sally Ann Cole comments to say, I love watching this whip parade, a good hour's entertainment. Thank you, as I know a lot goes into these videos. No worries at all, Sally Ann, you're welcome. Yeah, there. And then back to Flosstube 23, my long one, Get a Brew. Christiane Klein says, hi Nicola, I finally come along with your videos. You're such an inspiring stitcher. So inspiring that I had to buy Rivendell for my stash. Have a lovely week. Yeah, Rivendell is lovely. Looking forward to getting some more working on that one. Okay. Maria Valletto says, on my whip parade, I loved seeing all your projects. I can't wait to see where you will be at the end of the year. Yep, me too, me too. Although I'm not rushing my way down to the end of the year. It seems to, this year seems to have gone like lightning the first 6 months. Can't believe that we're into July already. It sure does, Anna. Right, you off to work then or what?
Maybe. Or maybe I'll go towards work and decide, nah, I'm not going and go
Okay.
shopping instead.
Okay, that's fine. You do you.
So if you get a phone call asking where I am, you had no idea.
Okay. Susan Bentley says, 77, eager to see your whip parade, but waiting for a new TV so I can see it in style. Bless you, Susan, no worries. And then Loomy Stitch says, oh my god, that huge head is stunning. I only stitch on 18 count for my full coverage, but of course I don't. Leonid Afremov. My biggest full coverage by head is 354,200. Sweet Shop by Amy Stewart. Yeah, if you wanted to stitch an Afremov or supersized max colour on 18 count, you'd have to get a custom weave of it because I don't think it would be big enough. I don't think you'd get a piece that's 900 and, well, my Afremov piece is 999 stitches wide. And you would have to have a custom weave of that for fabric. It would be expensive if you wanted to do it on 18. But yeah, mine's on 25 count and it's huge. And if you end up stopping for support, let me know.
Oh, no chance, not today. I'm stopping late tomorrow and I'm stopping late Friday. So unless they are severely short-staffed, there's not a chance I am
Okay,
stopping.
fair enough.
Because I'm tired. Not going in next week either.
All right. Fair dues. Hannah does now have what's called a dual contract. She was hired as the cleaner, but she now also does some support as well. So picks up a bit of overtime. Bye bye. Keeps her out of trouble, I'll tell you. What do you say, love?
Yeah, I agree.
Let's do a splash of colour. Anne-Marie says, sorry for being MIA. Hope to be with you Wednesday, 2nd of July. I do love your work. Absolutely no worries at all. Life happens. So if you're not able, if you're regular and not able to show up to a live stream or whatever, please don't worry. I absolutely get it. You know, there's been times when I've had to cancel my videos at short notice because life gets in the way. It happens. And I don't ever want anybody to feel guilty about missing a video because they're always there to watch on replay. And I know that if you're not watching them in real time and you are a regular viewer, that you'll pick up the replay. So yeah, please don't worry. Life happens. Okay.
Yeah. I'm just writing one of the scripts for one of the ones I'm doing on Friday.
All right.
And there's an army firing range in this one. And there's an old abandoned tank which people often try and go and visit, which they shouldn't do because it's MOD land and you should keep off.
Yeah.
And there's this story from this guy here who says he walked down and a ranger came driving down. He was nice enough to say, you're not allowed in the fenced off area as there may be live ammunition still there. However, I can't really stop you being stupid.
Brilliant. So this is the last comment now, because the rest of them start on my Flosstube, which I'll pick up next week. So this is a really, really lovely comment from Jodie. Jodie Walker says, wow, 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 amazing whip parade. Nicola, an amazing progress. Your needle is on fire. You stitch like a sewing machine. Very impressive. All your pieces and finishes are absolutely stunning. Thank you, Andy, for putting all the pictures in and the gallery ones.
You're welcome.
Your whip parade was the most organised and fastest, smoothest whip parade I've seen. Bravo, bravo, amazing job. Much love, Jodie. P.S. Thoroughly enjoyed this. Oh, thanks, Jodie. I decided to sort of be a bit organised with it, really, and you know, wrote everything down, and you know, had all the whips in order and had the actual pieces in order as well, and you know, make sure that it joined together as it should, if that makes sense. So thank you very much. And Andy always does a tremendous job with the editing.
I don't do much.
You do a tremendous job. Ush the mush. You know, he obviously looks after all of my videos in between his, and I'm blessed, you know, to have him on hand, you know. And I said to him, this is what I want, and he's like, yep, leave it with me, I'll sort that. Yep, brilliant. And that is the end of my comments. So we still have about half an hour of stitchy time. So it'll be just mainly stitching. But if I do think of something to say, I will chat. Is that? Oh, no. I'm looking at the wrong line of the pattern. That's good, isn't it? So, yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping for a good few more finishes this year. Lots of these Geckorouge pieces are 50, 60-ish thousand stitches. So hopefully some of those will be done. I also bought the Tree of Life pattern that I was talking about in my Flosstube, and I've opened an open-ended sal on the Simply a Stitcher and Friends Facebook page. So if you have bought or you're intending to buy the Tree of Life, there's a sal there. Just need to add it to my spinny wheel, because that will be on the spinny wheel new starts. 2 finish and 1 start. Quite nice to see a little splash of colour in this one. The way I'm doing this one is there's a lot of winter white. I think it's winter white. I'm pretty sure it's winter white. And that is quite a lot of stitches. It is over 5.5, well, almost 5,500 stitches. So I figured I'd leave the winter white until last because I don't want it to get dirty. It's when you're stitching a lot of white, it's very easy for it to get marked and to discolour. So I figured doing it last, oh, silly, doing it last will hopefully avoid that. There's still plenty enough colours in this. There's 70 something colours. 79?
Yeah.
78. So there's still a lot of colours. It almost feels like I'm doing this on 28 count, but I'm not. It's 25. It feels very small today. Maybe that's just because it's early in the morning and my eyes aren't quite awake yet. That one. What's this one? 37. Okay. Nice satisfying couple of hours stitching in the morning. I tend to do my best, I think, in the morning.
You don't do bad.
It seemed to sit right, did it? Oh dear.
Mm?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to wake up too.
Trying to. It's not going well.
When you start creaking and things start falling off, that's when you got to worry.
I suppose. I'm not quite at that point yet.
Not really got much else to say today, I don't think.
Neither have I. Maybe just do the rest of the video as an ASMR.
Well, it's kind of half that anyway, isn't it?
Maybe I should put the washer back on, give it a bit more ambience.
I don't know, with the helicopters buzzing around outside.
Yeah. Get on flight radar. Dear.
We seem to be under a helicopter flight path here. We get a lot.
Yes, we do. I don't know why.
The helicopter buzzing around on Sunday. There was an accident nearby. I don't think there's any injuries, but I think somebody did leave the scene.
Yes. That's a crime.
Normally though, when they leave the scene, they shouldn't have been at the scene in the first place.
I thought they're not insured.
Exactly, that's what I mean. They shouldn't have been at the scene in the first place.
Not insured, not taxed, no license.
No license, yeah.
That's the usual trifecta, isn't it?
Yep. Yes, the helicopter was a frequent visitor this weekend.
And it was.
Sat having our Sunday dinner, we could hear it buzzing around. Okay. Yes, the school kids are going to start coming around soon.
They will.
Only with a bit of rain, they might not be so early. I've school literally round the corner from us. The one that Lauren went to when she was very little. 2-minute walk. It was lovely when she was in that school. I think she's already missing school. Do you?
I reckon so, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Looking at the wrong bit again. It's looking quite nice.
I'm very quiet again, man.
Yeah, I'm kind of concentrating.
Which is alright, you're allowed to concentrate. That's how we make good stitching, right?
It is.
Concentration. I'm sure you're going to be active on your live stream tonight, talking about.
Oh yeah, I'm going to be finishing Symphony on my stream tonight.
Is that a case of stitch until it's done?
Until it's done, yeah. Well, I don't think there's not an awful lot left to do on it, to be fair.
How many stitches?
I don't know. But as you guys watch this one, it will have been completed, because that's my plan.
Okay.
Less than 1,000 stitches on Symphony. So go into my stream. And then Christmas Cat gets bumped up to focus for a finish.
Indeed.
Ice Dragon is my July Daily 100. And yeah, I might even do it in August as well. Try and get Ice Dragon close to done. Because I don't know how many stitches there are in Ice Dragon now, unfortunately. I can't do a percentage, and I can't, you know, predict when it'll be done. It's difficult.
Yeah.
But giving it the daily 100 will move it along quite significantly, I think.
Cool.
I'm actually feeling a little bit cold this morning, believe it or not.
Oh yeah.
What
is that?
Probably because it's chucking it down with rain in July.
Don't complain, Nikki, with how hot it's been.
I'm not complaining with how hot it's been. I'm just saying, you asked me why I'm cold.
Yeah, well. trust me. It's actually quite nice. It's quite refreshing. Okay. That's 4. And what's the other one? It's 5. What's the other one? Oh, sorry.
You're busy chatting to yourself.
No, there were 5 things I needed to do there. I thought I'd done just 4 of them, but actually not 5.
All right, okay.
So, can't count. Do this one first.
Anyway, we are about done with this hour. We've got 5 more minutes to go, hour and a half, and 5 more minutes to go. So, I think.
You think?
What I'll do is I will talk about my usual reminders now. So at the end of this video, there'll be 3 videos that come up on your screen. If you've not seen those, please do go take a few minutes to have a look. Let me think. Will there be the whip parade in there? Maybe, maybe not. If you've not seen the whip parade, though, do go back and have a look at it. It's an hour, so best to have a cup of tea or a drink of your choice and some stitching. Because I show my current 26 work in progresses and my 2 finishes. So my schedule is that I do a Flosstube on a Tuesday, Stitch with Me's on Thursdays and Saturdays, and I do a live stream at 7:30 PM UK time on Sundays and Wednesdays. The live streams are good fun. We usually end up talking about a particular topic and turning it into a bit of a comedy sesh. We do try and have a laugh, don't we?
Sort of.
Andy and the girls tend to join in. And, you know, we talk about food. We talk about nostalgia. We talk about the world as it is. We answer questions. All sorts of stuff that we get up to on the live streams. And of course we do Sew and Tell. And Sew and Tell features our Andy and his bell tingling in to celebrate every milestone.
It's not my bell.
Well, you're in charge of it.
Yeah, I'm in charge of it. But it's not specifically my bell, is it?
Yeah, but I call it yours because you're in charge of it.
Well, I suppose.
So we celebrate every milestone. So if you finish a colour, a page, a whole thing, if you reach a particular percent, if you reach a stitching total milestone, all kinds of things, we're going to celebrate them.
That's what we do.
Yeah, and that's what Sew and Tell is all about. Because, as I said many times, these are a long-term commitment doing these projects. And we deserve to celebrate every milestone while we get to, you know, until we get to the finish. So that's what we do. Some weeks Andy's bell's on overtime.
It was on Sunday, wasn't it?
Yep.
It was ridiculous how much I used it on Sunday.
And a lot of finishes or a lot of milestones.
But then again, that's a good thing, isn't it? It means people are
making progress.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Not criticising it.
No, celebrating it.
I wouldn't dare criticise it. I'd have that many women after me for the wrong reasons.
I think you've learned after living in a house full of women, just to keep your sentience then.
It's not as bad as it sounds, I'm sure.
It's not. So I am at almost 300 stitches.
Are you?
Yeah, which is quite good.
You've got a lot done this morning.
Yeah.
Very good.
Thank you.
Praise where it's due, look. Praise where it's due.
I'll tell you where I am in just a second.
Okay.
294 stitches done. That, my friends, is where I'm going to pause today's proceedings. Look at that. You can see the horns coming in. Looks fabulous, doesn't it? So, thank you guys very much indeed for watching. I do appreciate your support. Do leave this video a thumbs up and make a comment. I do talk about comments, obviously, in these videos. So, oh, excuse me. I go to go because I need to go spend a penny and get ready for work and things like that. It's a work day today. So, thanks very much indeed, guys, for watching. Take care, happy stitching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye for now.